What's up, Tim?
Hello. Hello, peoples.
What does it mean when people say mission of God? And what do you mean when you say mission of God?
Well, that's a hard question because I want to be fair, but I think most American Christians probably mean something like mission is missions, which they mean some version of, if you die tonight, do you know where you spend eternity? Right? Which is the worst question. And I think not the most interesting question at all. Like the most interesting question is, if you don't die tonight, like if you wake up tomorrow, what are you going to do with your life? I don't think God's mission is just like how to get people into heaven when they die. I think it's how do we find a sense of meaning and purpose and embrace and come to embrace what it means to be human, and then be that. Do that. Be actually alive in the world as yourself and unafraid. But I don't think God's mission is to fix everything that's broken. I think God's mission is to help us find wholeness and meaning and purpose, and to do that in a particular way, which is mostly about mending the world and healing disease and caring for the lonely and the sick, and it's just a lot more about very normal human things that basically boil down to laying down our lives for each other, so that the good life can be shared by everybody. That's what I think. But I think we all kind of know. I mean, if you've read any of the gospel, or if you've read the Torah and that long story of the children of Israel, especially in their 40 years in the wilderness, like, you know, this is the story. The brokenness is not going away. You're a human. There's no cure for that. You're just going to be that. And to be human is to live with an alienation from self and God and other and the earth, the world. Any religion that promises you, we will fix that alienation, they are selling something and you should run.
So why doesn't redemption have a specific mission statement?
I always say, like, we don't have a 5-year plan. We have no plan. We have absolutely no plan. We don't know what we're doing. Every good thing that happened at redemption, it feels to me like a total accident. Like we have now for about 15 years had this phenomenal connection to the homeless community in Kansas City and especially in Johnson County. And we never set out to do any of that stuff. It was a complete accident. We set out to try to become the kinds of people who had this connection to God, to where if we sensed as we're going about our life, it seems like maybe God is involved in this person's life somehow, or asking me to become involved in their life somehow, that we would do it. And most of the time that is with people who, whether because of some hardship, some disabilities, their social location, a lot of times just because of racism or systemic injustice or whatever, they're locked out of the path that leads to life and goodness and wholeness and flourishing. That what it means to be a Christian is to go find a way to include those people. I think a lot of God's mission is about moving across those borders of whoever we've othered, whoever we have defined ourselves against or pushed outside and created a barrier. What it means to be Christian is to dare to cross those barriers for the sake of hospitality and love and inclusion in a people who are chasing life, chasing wholeness and flourishing for each other and for the world. We found this little neighborhood, which is it's sort of close to downtown Olathe, which is in Johnson County, one of the richest suburbs in America. But it's kind of this little forgotten old neighborhood that's now, socioeconomically diverse, and there's a lot of poverty, a lot of immigrants. This is where the people on the margins live to a large degree. If you're in Johnson County, this is one of the 2 or 3 places where you live. And here's the weird part about it. You could not drive a mile without seeing an empty church building. All the churches left. Like, think about that. When you're thinking about mission, this is an important data point. We're in a sea of affluence in Johnson County. The one kind of concentrated area of socioeconomic diversity and poverty is the one place where the churches are all leaving. Like, that's bad. This is a problem that came, I think, into the church first through American evangelicalism, but I think it's a wider problem now. And that is that mission language got co-opted by capitalism, by corporations. And so now every corporation has a mission statement. This has become the language of business. And the church, I really am convinced that the church has its own reasons for being. And they have nothing to do with upwardly mobile things going up and to the right and profit and growth. That's all bullcrap. That's all the language of American corporation and capitalism and leads to the exploitation of people and the earth and kind of that sort of ambition trucks over human beings for the sake of winning and being upwardly mobile. That's just not, the church should have nothing to do with that. The church's job is not to grow. The church's job is just to be the church. Be the faithful people of God and leave questions of growth up to God and trust that God knows what God's doing. In fact, the church's job is not to grow. The church's job is to die. It's to learn how to die, to pour out our lives for self and other, believing that more life will always come through that dying, learning to die.